All right, so this is going to be a long-term review of the Revic RS25i rifle scope. So this is not an unboxing video. This is a long-term review. I've had this scope for well over a year. It's been on tons of hunts. It's been around. It's been dropped. It's bounced around the truck. It's been in the rain. It has been through the paces. So the first thing I want to talk about is durability. Again, it's been bounced around. It has been used, and this scope has stood out as one of the toughest scopes that I've had. Like I said, it's been dropped, leaned against a tree, fallen over. It's been banged around in the back of this truck during rough hunts. Can't say enough about the durability. So there you go. Very high quality, very durable scope, and dependable too, and we'll get to that. So the first thing that I want to do, I'm going to start in the back and I want to move forward. There's not a whole lot that happens up here in the front of a scope, so the first thing we're going to talk about is the Diopter. Really impressed with this Diopter. It's a really smooth turn, and there's enough resistance there to where once you get it set where you need it, it's not going to move. It's a set it and forget it feature. So get behind the rifle, get in there, get settled in, get your diopter set where it needs to be so that you have a good composition of the reticle, and leave it alone, and it's going to be just fine. Moving forward, we will talk about the glass clarity. So the clarity of the glass on this thing is outstanding. I was really impressed by just the sight picture in general, the field of view. The eye relief is very good. I don't remember the exact specs on it. You'll have to go look that up. But you're able to pick up a really good sight picture and a good eye relief. Clarity is good. Edge to edge quality, very good. I don't have any issues with like if an animal comes into the side of the picture when you're down behind the rifle, you don't start to lose clarity toward the edges. Really happy with the clarity of it. The 50mm objective lets in enough light that you can shoot early in the morning, you can shoot late into the evening. Know your limitations there, right? I mean, it's not going to work miracles for you, but it does have enough light. I shot an antelope early in the morning one day, picked it up, knew my limitations, watched the light come through. I waited until I had a really good sight picture and I shot the antelope. So know your limitations there, but it is very bright, and it is bright late into the evening. So good quality, especially for a 50mm objective lens. All right, next thing we'll talk about is this adjustable magnification ring. Really cool feature here. So first, it's butter smooth, right? I'm one finger and I'm moving this thing around, no issues. But it is adjustable. So there's a little set pin here on the top, and it's adjustable on where the left and right limit, I guess, kind of ends up. So if you're working your bolt here and you have issues catching that magnification ring, then you can adjust it. Or if you're a left-handed shooter, you can set it so it's further to the side, and then you're able to manipulate the bolt on the left-hand side of the rifle. So pretty cool feature there too. I don't know that I've ever seen that anywhere else, so really cool that Revic did that. Next up, we will move into a 30mm tube. So really nice, lots of ring options there. This particular scope has the RPM rings on it, which is perfect for this 30mm tube. Next thing we will talk about is the Parallax. Let me adjust it around here real quick. We'll get into this Parallax. So it is 10 to infinity. So 10 yards to infinity on the Parallax, so you're able to really get a good resolution on that reticle and on the target whenever you have something at distance, right? Or if something comes in close range, you can adjust it down to 10 yards. So really nice parallax adjustment on that, and it's a firm yet smooth adjustment on that. So when you're down behind the rifle and you want to get up and you want to make that adjustment on that parallax, it's very easy to do one-handed. And then inside of the parallax right here is a battery compartment, and this is where your battery goes to power your illuminated reticle. So we'll talk more about that. It's a push button on, and then you kind of click through to adjust the brightness of the reticle. inside, and then to turn it off you just push and hold. So very simple operation, can be done easily one-handed behind the rifle while you're sitting there if you wanted to turn it on. Okay, back to the other side now. We'll talk elevation turret. So, or I'm sorry, the windage turret. So it's a capped windage turret, really nice. I prefer capped windage turrets. It's just less to bump and bang around. You can take that cap off, and inside there is a very high quality sealed turret in there. It's very good, very audible, tactile. Maybe you can hear it, maybe you can't, I don't know. But it's very nice, and you can feel those clicks, so you know when you're trying to click 4, you know when you get 4. It's not all mushy like some other optic turrets out there. So again, this is weather sealed, so you can leave the cap off if you want. Me personally, I am a capped person. I like to leave the cap on, and then when it comes to adjusting for windage, I use the reticle inside. I hold my windage. So finally, we will move on and we will talk about the elevation turret. So the elevation turret is fantastic. Also very tactile, audible clicks. It is in MOA that matches the MOA reticle, and you have plenty of adjustability on this thing. You also have a toolless zero, which is pretty easy to manipulate. You can remove this little cap here, and then you can pull your cap off and adjust your zero based on that. There's a zero stop inside of here that is also adjustable. It is not toolless. It does require the use of an Allen wrench, but it is a very simple process. So once you get in there and you start working that toolless zero, when you start working that zero stop, it's very, very easy. There is also ballistics data rings that can be purchased for about 35 bucks. I think they're $35 on the Revic website, and that ballistics data ring replaces the top portion of your MOA. So it's just a little ring. When you would purchase one of these, it would come in yardage, so you would be able to put the yardage instead of your top portion of the MOA ring. And you keep the bottom MOA, the top would switch to a yardage ring. So pretty cool, really cool feature there actually. So then you would have the best of both worlds. You'd have the ballistics data ring and you would have MOA if needed. Reticle, let's talk about the reticle. I'm not going to go too in depth on this because Revic has some really good instructional videos on their website that talk all about the reticle. Talks about why they created it, how they created it for hunters. To me, it's probably the best hunting reticle that's out there. It's super simple. There's no Christmas tree stuff in it. You don't lose your animal. You don't lose the objective inside of a big Christmas tree. You have a very simple reticle. There is, in the middle, there's a crosshair in there. It's one MOA crosshair in either direction, so a total of 2 MOA wide and 2 MOA tall. And that crosshair is what the illuminated reticle is. So when you turn on the illumination, the crosshair lights up. It's really, really nice, very simple. And then you can go 16 MOA either direction, left or right. There's some neat little wind indicators that are built into the reticle. And then there's 4 MOA of elevation adjustment that goes down to a very heavy post on the bottom of the reticle. There's probably going to be a picture dropped in here for a B-roll picture type of thing where you'll be able to see it. But I do encourage you to go to the Revic website and check out their videos on it, because it's really cool to hear about how they designed it and why they designed it. So really, really good. My final thoughts, I don't think there's a better hunting scope out there. Personally, I really, really like this scope a lot. So this thing lived on my 257 Weatherby for a year and a half, however long I was using it. I put it on this 6 Creedmoor just for the review. In all honesty, I put it on here because I was able, this thing has almost no recoil, and it was really good when I had the trigger cam on here to take videos of shots downrange. So I moved it from my 257 Weatherby, put it on here. This thing was super simple to zero and get set up. And as soon as this review is complete, it's getting shipped off, and I have a 25 PRC being built, and this is going to be the hunting scope that goes on that 25 PRC, which will be my hunting rifle from now until who knows when. If I decide to build something else, I will likely go with another one of these RS25is. It is a very, very good scope. I get asked, what does it compare to? So I think, I put it clarity-wise, glass-wise, I put it up with top-tier glass like the Leopold Mark V or the Night Force NX8. But I believe for hunting purposes that this thing is set apart because of that reticle that they have in there. And then this adjustable magnification ring is a really, really cool feature. These ballistics data rings are really cool too. So there's a lot of things on here that were built and designed for hunters that I think people will appreciate. I would recommend that if you're looking for a new hunting scope, this needs to be at the top of your list, right? You need to absolutely check this out. Now, you probably saw me messing around with this this scope cap. That I would say the last thing I want to talk about is if I had any complaints. One, if I was Revic, I would ship these with it. They do not come with it, and you have to buy them. They're nice. They're very high quality lens caps. They are available for a purchase. The other thing I would say, I'm not really complaining about this at all because it doesn't really pertain to me, but I called Revic and asked about a mill reticle and mill dial for the guys that shoot mills out there. Revic told me it is not necessarily off the table, but it is not on the dinner plate at this time, right? So they're not completely disregarding that, but it's just not something they're concerned about. The MOA, to me, MOA is easier for hunting. I don't know why, but for me, it's easier to discuss when you're talking amongst other hunters to talk about MOA. But there is a shift. There is a lot of people that are moving into the mill radian world, and I wouldn't mind seeing that Revic did an option in mills. So maybe in another year or two, something like that. But all in all, absolutely fantastic. It needs to be at the top of your list. It truly does. This thing is really, really nice. So, all right, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Go out, check it out, buy it. You can get them off of Revic. You can definitely buy it off of Go Hunt. There's plenty of places where you can buy this Revic RS25i.